So today, a World Health Organization report on COVID-19 set for release. Will they tell us the exact origin of the virus? Based on the reporting so far, that appears to be doubtful. The White House says experts will review the findings. The Biden administration voices concerns about how the study was conducted. A lot of concerns about that. Nikki Haley, former U.S. ambassador to the UN. Thank you, Madam Ambassador, for your time today. World Health Organization spent 4 weeks in China. The report is 319 pages. Based on all the reporting we're getting, their access was limited with a small L. Is this report worth the paper it will be printed on?
No, I don't think that we can look at this and say this is the whole story. I mean, I think you could pretty much throw the credibility of the World Health Organization out the window when they didn't listen to Taiwan the last week in December saying this was human-to-human transmission. Instead, they went to China, got their marching orders, and only then came back and allowed the rest of the world to suffer. So, you know, I think the World Health Organization, anything that they say is going to be Chinese propaganda. We know that. I think we've got two issues that we need to focus on. One is finding out how this happened, because if we don't do that, it will happen again. Secondly, holding China accountable. The idea that millions of people have suffered and not one finger has pointed back to China from the world community, there's a real problem with that. Because if they can get away with killing millions of people, they can get away with a whole lot more.
Apologize for interruption. A couple of things I want to play here. Here's Redfield and Metzi on their conclusions here. Give this a listen here for our viewers.
I wouldn't really call what's happened now an investigation. It's essentially a highly chaperoned, highly curated study tour.
I am of the point of view that I still think the most likely etiology of this pathogen in Wuhan was from a laboratory.
Those comments are so interesting. Chaperone, highly curated study tour. We'll see what the World Health Organization says about that tour when the report comes out. Meanwhile, you raise the question. What will the Biden administration do about this as it relates to Beijing? Here's Anthony Blinken when he was asked about that this week.
I think the issue for us is to make sure that we do everything possible to prevent another pandemic. And a big part of that is making sure that we have a system in place, including with the World Health Organization, that features transparency, that features information sharing, that features access for international experts at the start of something like this. And that's where I think China, like every other country, has real obligations that it needs to make good on.
So then the question to you, will Beijing pay a price?
This is the concern I have overall, is if you look at the Biden administration, they are coming across very naive. When you are humiliated in a meeting with China, when Putin challenges you to a debate, and you watch China and Iran make a fantastically huge deal that's going to put terrorism around the world at an even larger level. When you have North Korea shooting ballistic missiles, I mean, the Biden administration is way over their head on this, and they're playing nice and they're being naive, and China's running all over them. I mean, this is a time you have to look at what a big thing happened when China and Iran signed that agreement, Bill. What that did was basically give Iran a pass from having to deal with the U.S. or the Europeans at all. Secondly, massive influx of money that now goes to their proxies in Syria, Iraq, Yemen, that they can continue to do things with, allows China to get their oil, allows Iran and China to exchange military cooperation, and worse than that, they establish a bank situation, which goes back to what they're all trying to do, which is to make sure that the U.S. dollar is no longer the world reserve. So this is serious. China has made a massive power play by aligning with Iran, aligning with Russia, aligning with North Korea. And they're going to continue to do this. And the U.S. can't sit back and play nice. We've got to start moving. We've got to get with our allies. We've got to start getting aggressive. And we've got to make sure that we don't allow China to do exactly what they're doing, which is becoming the world superpower.
Two things to add. Chinese Foreign Ministry spokeswoman said, when will the United States allow the World Health Organization for a visit on origin tracing here in the U.S.? And on your point, here's the headline in the Wall Street Journal. The China-Iran axis. Beijing gains influence and helps Tehran evade U.S. sanctions. The reason why that's important, they have struck a 25-year strategic relationship. A lot to cover on this, and I hope you come back again very soon. Nikki Haley,
Yes.
thank you for your time.
Thanks, Bill.